Hello, this is attorney Nicole Christie from the Christie Law Firm, where we work hard to make families stronger. And today I want to continue in our series around DCF in court. And today I want to talk to you about your rights when you go to court. When DCF files neglect petitions, they will file them in juvenile court. Juvenile court is designated in Connecticut to address matters of child protection, so abuse and neglect, and then also juvenile delinquency. And so it's just dedicated to that. One of the things that you need to know is that it's a sealed court. And that means that the public cannot sit in on court hearings. They have to have permission from the court, and they have to be a party to the case. They have to have a reason for being there. So either they're the mother, the father, the guardian, or DCF, or an attorney, or maybe even a foster parent. Someone just off the street cannot come in to any juvenile court proceeding. So that's one of your rights, that you have that right to privacy regarding that. When you get into court and your very first court date, the court will notify you of your rights. And generally your rights are that you have a right to an attorney, which we strongly encourage you to exercise that right, whether you hire a private attorney like myself and we will work hard with you about the case, or you apply for a court-appointed attorney if you don't think you could afford a private attorney. Now, the issue with court-appointed attorneys is that some are really great and some of them, like any other job, you have your great ones and then you have your not so great ones. And the issue is that you can't pick the court-appointed attorney. But if you do get a court-appointed attorney, make sure you meet with them, make sure you talk to them. If you have any issues contacting them, let the court know. But do your best to make sure that you stay in contact and exercise your right to an attorney. One of the other rights that you have is that you have a right to have DCF prove the allegations against you. You don't have to admit to it. Most times clients would sign what we call a NOLO form, which means that you don't admit to it and you're not denying it, but you don't want to take it to trial because you want the agreement from the state. But if you don't want to agree, if you think that DCF is just dead wrong and you should have your children back, or you shouldn't have a court case in the first place, you have a right to a trial. You have a right to have DCF present all of its evidence, have all of their witnesses testify, have cross-examination of those witnesses, and you also have a right to put on your own evidence. Maybe you have providers, maybe you have individuals who can support what you're saying about the case, which is very different from what DCF is saying. So understand that you do have a right to a trial, and that trial will be before a judge. There is no jury, it's just in front of the judge, and it all depends on the strengths and weaknesses of the case. So keep that in mind, that you do have a right to an attorney, you do have a right to a trial, and you have a right to hear the evidence being presented against you. And DCF has to provide all of that evidence. They can't do what we call trial by ambush, where all of a sudden it's the day of trial and they have these hosts of things that they want to present to the court. They have to give that to you or your attorney beforehand, so you have adequate time to prepare. So as you go into court, if you ever get served with neglect petitions, I encourage you to please exercise your right to an attorney, whether it's someone that you privately pay for like us, or if you're unable to do so, that you make sure you apply for a public defender. And one of the things about also applying for a public defender is that you can now do it online, or actually on the phone. You don't have to fill out a paper. You don't have to necessarily go down to the court. And it's important that you walk into court with an attorney present. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact our office. We have a host of other videos here on YouTube that you can look at, and just to be able to get more educated about DCF and how they run and what your rights are. Take care.